Hey everyone, this is Daniel from PhoneArena with a video comparison between the Nokia Lumia 920 and the Samsung Galaxy S3. The Lumia 920 is a rather thick and hefty device, and not only in comparison with the slim Galaxy S3, yet it is surprisingly ergonomic to handle, thanks to its tapered unibody design, and feels solid with very even weight distribution. You get used to the Lumia 920 thickness and weight, but it is by no means pleasant in this anorexic smartphone day and age, especially when operated with one hand. Both phones are made of deep colored polycarbonate, and the Galaxy S3 has the advantage of a removable back cover, which lets you add more memory or swap the battery. The thin Galaxy S3 with a big 4.8-inch display feels way more elegant, but more fragile in the hand than the Lumia 920's chubby tank-like physique, which is also proven by plenty of drop tests where the fatty escaped unscathed unless you hurl it into a concrete wall, whereas a Galaxy S3 drop at shoulder height often resulted in a cracked display. Case or caution, hence recommended with Samsung's phone, whereas the Lumia 920 would fare better with sloppier owners. Despite this heavy armor weight of Nokia's chassis, the durable zirconium lock, volume and camera keys on the right are contributing to a somewhat more premium exterior, which is enhanced by the same camera plate material here on the back. Whereas the Galaxy S3 faux chrome camera area and paper-thin back cover look less sophisticated in comparison. The glossy finish of our Lumia 920 unit attracted more tiny lint and thread pieces in our pockets than the S3, making us wipe the back very often, which should not be an issue with the matte cyan and black versions though. The side buttons on both devices are very well placed for easy manipulation and have deep tactile feedback to them. There's a physical home key in the slim bezel area below the Galaxy S3 display, whereas we have capacitive keys only on the Lumia 920. Which method is better would be up to your personal preferences. We have a 4.8-inch HD Super AMOLED display on the Galaxy S3 with 720 by 1280 pixels of resolution, while the Lumia 920 sports a 4.5-inch 768 by 1280 Pure Motion HD Plus LCD screen with Nokia's clear black filter. This gives the pixel density round to the Lumia 920 at 332 ppi against the 306 ppi of the Galaxy S3. Samsung has on top of that used the Pentaum matrix that looks unorthodox compared to the regular RGB stripe when solid colors are examined very closely, yet you'd have to be a real screen purist to notice even then. The colors on the Lumia 920 are vivid, yet are still a far cry from the oversaturated colors present with Samsung's AMOLED display, which also tends to show various cold color casts at all times. The clear black filter of the Lumia 920 and the much higher brightness of its display are definitely an advantage when it comes to comparing outdoor visibility with the Galaxy S3. Even with the sun shining directly on the display, it can be observed fine, whereas the Galaxy S3 looks dimmer in comparison outside. Nokia touts the record fast refresh rate of its Pure Motion HD Plus screen, yet in reality the only advantage can be observed with enlarged text or contact list being slightly less blurry than on the S3 while flipping quickly up and down. Finally, when we consider the super sensitive synaptics layer of the screen on the Lumia 920, which for example allows you to use the display with gloves. As you can see, we're using this piece of cloth here and the phone works fine, which can be done on any other handset, and it comes very handy for adverse weather conditions or if you have some kind of a dirty job which requires wearing gloves. The Windows Phone 8 home screen looks fresh and is a definite advantage before the previous Windows Phone editions, yet it is a far cry from the myriad of customizations you can do with Android's home screen. Resizable tiles are a welcome addition, but they're no match for the home screen widgets in terms of detail and interactivity of information displayed. When we add the dock launchers, menu pagination and notification bar switches, Android pulls ahead for its ability to align even the most minute interface details with your personal preferences. The Windows Phone 8 interface is more rigid in that regard, providing that Microsoft deemed necessary. You can choose from tens of different keyboard apps for your Galaxy S3, for example, including ones with swipe-like input. Whereas there's only the stock keyboard to peruse with the Lumia 920. It is very good in portrait mode, but kind of squished in landscape. Windows Phone 8's UI approach is, however, simpler and easier to grasp in its neatly arranged tile format and the list-only app menu. The lock screen in Windows Phone 8 also can be used by third-party apps to show notifications, slideshows, Facebook updates, sports scores, and so on, which Android answers with the 4.2 Jelly Bean lock screen widgets concept, or some third-party lock screen solutions from the Play Store. Both Nokia and Samsung have put a significant effort towards providing unique interface experiences for the brand's users. Samsung takes the lead with its Nature UX, featuring Smart Stay and Pop-Up Play, whereas Nokia makes do with a bundle of exclusive apps and additions like CD Lens or Mix Radio, not to mention the integrated free offline voice-guided navigation drive that comes with each Lumia. One area Android pulls far ahead, though, is natural language recognition with Google Voice and Jelly Bean, which is more intuitive than the somewhat limited Tell Me-based voice commands that come with Windows Phone. Weather in New York.
Searching for weather in New York.
Weather in New York.
It's 50 degrees and clear in New York.
Although both solutions do the basic jobs fine. Where Windows Phone 8 excels, on the other hand, is the social networking integration in the contacts, which syncs Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and other accounts seamlessly in your People's Hub. As for the app situation, most of your basics are covered with Windows Phone 8, and there's a nice selection of Xbox games it comes with. But when you dig under the surface, you encounter a lot of the more specialized apps like your Ameritrade broker, for instance, or Zipcar missing from the Windows Phone store, and you have to use the web experience to manage these services instead of a dedicated app. The good thing is that you can first try any app before purchase. The Samsung Galaxy S3 is powered by 1.4 GHz quad-core Exynos 4412 processor or a 1.5 GHz dual-core Snapdragon S4 in the US, which in conjunction with Android Jelly Bean's Project Butter make the interface smooth as silk, with no apps giving that phone the hiccups too. The same can be said about the Nokia Lumia 920. Windows Phone 8 is light on resources and finally supports dual-core processors. So the 1.5 GHz Qualcomm Snapdragon S4 chews through the interface animations and apps perform seamlessly. There's 1 GB of RAM on the Lumia 920 in the international S3 and double that in the US versions of the Galaxy S3. Android's superior multitasking abilities can line up much more apps running in the system memory before any of them needs to be closed by the OS for lack of resources. The starting point for the internal memory amounts are 16 GB, about 12 user available on Samsung's device, and 32 GB, about 26 user available for the Lumia 920. But the S3 also has a 32 GB version, plus it has a microSD slot for cheap storage expansion. Both browsers are excellent with buttery smooth scrolling, zooming and panning. Plus they render the pages in real time while pinching. Internet Explorer on the Lumia 920 seems a tad quicker, which is proven by BrowserMark as well. 1,569 points versus 1,355 points on the S3, but there's no way you can add Adobe Flash support here in Internet Explorer, whereas it can be easily used on the Samsung Galaxy S3. You just have to allow it in the settings, always on plugins, and you can sideload Adobe Flash if the need arises. On the connectivity front, the phones offer the works: LTE and HSPA plus baseband radios, plus the set of Wi-Fi Direct, Bluetooth, AGPS, FM radio, NFC and DONA. The Lumia 920 radio has 42.2 megabits per second theoretical HSPA plus speeds, whereas the Galaxy S3 sports a 21.1 megabits per second radio, but in reality you'll be lucky to clock a quarter of those anyway. As for wired connectivity, the Galaxy S3 sports a proprietary MHL port that allows video out and USB on the go, whereas the Lumia 920 features a standard micro USB port for charging and syncing, which supports USB on the go too, but no video out. Music playback is taken care of with stock apps that offer album art and song categorization by artist, albums, playlists, and so on, even genres in the case of the Nokia Lumia 920. They also have equalizer presets, lock screen commands, and full surround sound in headset mode with Dolby branding. The Windows Phone 8 interface is minimalistic, almost overly so, as you can't manipulate the progress bar, for instance. You have to long press the forward and back keys to skim through tracks. On the other hand, you can pin tracks and albums on the home screen and can even give the artist a double width dial. As you can see. Nokia Music is present on the Lumia device, letting you stream 15 million tracks, similar to Pandora, and even have so-called mixes with the Nokia Mix Radio option. Which you can download for offline listening. The Galaxy S3 also has its music hub with even more tracks, powered by 7 Digital, but no free streaming or offline download options. The stereo speakers at the bottom of the Nokia Lumia 920 are better than the loudspeaker on the Galaxy S3 in terms of strength, clarity and sound phoneness, as you can very well hear. The handsets support all popular video file formats, including DivX, XVD right out of the box, up to 1080 definition. The Galaxy S3 lets you detach the video currently running in this pop-up window and do something else underneath while watching it. Keep it on top at all times. The Windows Phone 8 video player is much more basic, with only the simplest playback options in the interface. Nokia's phone utilizes the PureView Phase 2 technology, which puts the whole camera module on a tiny suspension mechanism inside for optical image stabilization. The result should be shake-free videos and allowing the phone to use slower shutter speeds in low light with less motion blur. The camera app interface on the Galaxy S3 has more options than the one on the Lumia 920, where functions like panorama have to be downloaded as separate modules called lenses. Nokia's phone does have a few preset scene modes, as you can see, like close-up, night portrait, sports and backlight, which cover most of the specific scenarios you might encounter. There are also ISO adjustments, exposure and white balance settings, just like on the Galaxy S3. The clunky thing with Nokia's manual exposure adjustments are that you can't actually see the scene behind, so you can't see what changes, whereas you can easily see what's going on through the camera lens here with the Galaxy S3. When it comes to the actual pictures, both handsets offer good color representation, just that on the saturated side. Galaxy S3 gets the white balance measurements mostly right, while the Lumia 920 sometimes overexposes the bright spots. When there's enough light around, Samsung's photo processing algorithms also deliver sharper images with more contrast than the softish snaps from the Lumia 920. When the lights start to go down though, the Lumia 920 starts to really shine as the first phone with optical image stabilization inside, since the Stadia camera module allows for much longer shutter speeds without motion blur and more light coming in, which is crucial for night and party shots. The solution is not without caveats though, as the scene gets so exposed that light sources look too bright and the overall result doesn't look like it's taken during the night at all. You should dial down the exposure ISO. The area where the optical image stabilization inside the Lumia 920 really excels is video capture. Fluid, blur-free videos with 30 frames per second can be shot at any time, day or night, with the Lumia 920, and that shake compensation inside makes the footage look like it's taken with a tripod. The Galaxy S3 has digital stabilization mode too, but it's a far cry from the OIS gear inside the Lumia 920. When we add Nokia's rich recording technology with the 3 high-amplitude audio capture microphones, which can pick a wider sound range than a typical smartphone mix, the Lumia 920 becomes the best smartphone for shooting video at parties or concerts, where it's both noisy and you move a lot. This might have sounded pretty strange just a year ago, but the Windows Phone 8 powered Nokia Lumia 920 is the better phone in many respects than the 5 months older Galaxy S3. It has the better screen, better camera, better call quality and better sound recording and playback. It also offers free offline voice guided navigation to solidify its uniqueness before Samsung's handset. Still throwing every edgy piece of technology Nokia could muster for its first true Windows Phone flagship took its toll on the chassis girth and heft, making it feel like a tank next to the slim Galaxy S3. Thankfully, it also affected its stellar drop durability in the positive sense, yet its body, while ergonomic to handle, seems unsightly compared to the thin handsets like the Samsung Galaxy S3. Furthermore, when it comes to the operating system, Windows Phone, which on the surface is very fresh and easy to grasp, feels much more restricted than the freewheeling Android with all its widgets and customizations, plus the superior multitasking and natural voice commands. The app situation is also widely in favor of Android, and thankfully Nokia throws in some fine exclusive apps like Drive and Mix Radio to soothe the pain somewhat. Compared feature by feature, the Galaxy S3 doesn't offer many advantages before the burly but capable Nokia Lumia 920, yet its hardware and software combo is more aligned with the smartphone trends of late, so it feels more familiar. That familiarity is exactly what Nokia has probably tried to escape with the unique features thrown into the Lumia 920, sacrificing on the compact factor in the process. This was a video comparison between the Nokia Lumia 920 and the Samsung Galaxy S3 from PhoneArena. For more information about these and other handsets, you can visit us at phonearena.com. Thanks for watching.